1 million visitors walk through its gates every year, but tonight Dreamworld's future is in question. Its owner is now facing charges over the Thunder River Rapids tragedy.
To face these kinds of charges can be catastrophic. People have got to understand or believe that it's safe to go there.
So what we're seeing is a prosecution designed not merely to teach a lesson to Ardent Leisure, but also to teach every other park operator.
It is Australia's best-known theme park, but after a tragic disaster, a pandemic and now charges against its owners, can Dreamworld survive?
It's remembered now as one of the worst crises in recent history, simply because it was handled so badly.
Peter Wilkinson is a public relations expert who says Dreamworld can make a comeback, but it won't be easy.
The thing about Aussies is that they are incredibly tolerant. So if they have no accidents, if they can persuade the public that they've got a safety standard equivalent of Qantas.
Peter also believes Dreamworld may have to change the thing it's best known for, its name.
Because Dreamworld has kind of become part of the things that go wrong in Queensland, if you like.
When legal action was first predicted against Dreamworld's owner, Ardent Leisure, it was also suggested executives of that company could be facing charges for offences that carried jail terms. But today it was revealed the company only will be charged, and if convicted, Ardent Leisure will face fines totalling $4.5 million.
This is a piece of legislation that is designed to keep cowboys out of the market and to ensure that other companies are deterred from slack or poor behaviour.
Gold Coast lawyer Bill Potts says given what came out of the inquest into the 4 deaths on the Thunder River Rapids ride, it's no shock charges have been laid.
No, I wasn't surprised, and the reason for that is that we've had a very long and detailed coronial inquiry. We've had 4 tragic deaths and many staff who have given evidence to say that they were either badly trained or in some cases not trained at all.
When it opened almost 40 years ago, Dreamworld became a famous part of the Gold Coast's glitter strip.
Take a trip away from the everyday. Take a Dreamworld holiday.
It had its share of financial problems but managed to survive. 14 years after it opened came Tiger Island, its famous wildlife display. And not long after that, Whitewater World. It was a favourite for Aussie families holidaying on the coast. 10 years ago, when we visited Dreamworld, the then General Manager Noel Dempsey insisted we join him on one of the park's big thrill rides.
The new Tower of Terror, it's the scariest ride I've ever been on.
It remained a big draw card until its closure last year. 4 years ago, Dreamworld's reputation crashed with this terrible disaster on what was considered to be one of its safest rides. Parent company Ardent Leisure seemed totally unprepared for the disastrous consequences.
We'll be speaking to you after the meeting.
Who could forget Ardent Leisure's former CEO, Deborah Thomas, struggling to respond to questions at the company's annual general meeting shortly after the disaster?
We didn't call the Dorset family directly because we didn't know how to contact them.
The fact that they hadn't formed a relationship with the people who were the victims in this case was sort of a catastrophe within a catastrophe.
Dreamworld was starting to recover when in February this year a coroner released scathing findings into what went wrong. Then the park announced plans for a multi-million-dollar upgrade, including new rides. But in March, Dreamworld was forced to close its doors because of COVID, and they've remained shut ever since. Then 2 weeks ago, the park announced that 50 of its staff would be losing their jobs because of the pandemic.
Got the ride pretty much
Yeah.
I haven't seen it this quiet.
Nah, it's like a ghost town.
Companies like this can come back from this, but there are conditions. The first is, of course, there must be absolutely no accidents. The second is they've got to have really competent spokespeople who can help them through the difficult times.
It's been an absolute tragedy. 4 families have lost loved ones, and no matter what compensation is being paid, no matter what penalties are imposed, they have holes in their lives.
The charges against Ardent Leisure will be mentioned in court later this month. The company says it expects Dreamworld to reopen in time for the September school holidays.